I have an agenda to push. I don't think Boruto is that strong, and I have someone to push it here with me, Troy.
Hello, I'm here.
Obviously, go subscribe to Troy. His channel will
Yes,
be linked
sir.
in the description. Obviously, subscribe to me as well and like the video. Right? We took time on
Share
this.
too.
Took time on this. So,
Might as well.
but yeah, so Boruto is strong, right? Like he's a strong kid. He's got 3 nature transformations. He can use 4
He's
shadow
mastered the
clones.
Rasengan.
Yeah, he's clearly a prodigy. He mastered Rasengan extremely early. Made a mistake and put a chakra nature into it. He's
Something never
clearly
before
extremely
seen.
strong. He's just not as strong as people tend to portray him to be. But before we get into it, we have a word from our sponsor, and our sponsor is me. If you're interested in debating and winning money, I've incorporated a system in my Discord server that allows you to level up as you win or lose debates. You can win from an up to $400 cash pool over the course of the month. At the end of the month, there will be a seasonal reset like any Battle Pass game, Fortnite, or Call of Duty, and we'll do it all over again. During the season, there will be a leaderboard that will show if you're in the top 10 and ranks that you progress through as the season goes on. The top 3 at the end of the season will earn the cash prizes. First place will win $200, second place will win $75, and third place will win $20. Beyond those cash prizes, there will be players with bounties on their heads, and you can beat these players in a debate and claim the bounty cash prize. You'll start at rank 0, Tarnished, and can level up to get to the top rank of 6, Enlightened, and in between these ranks is your level, which goes up infinitely, so you'll always feel like you're earning. These debates do not have to be anime related at all. If you want to debate someone on peanut butter versus jelly, so long as you have a willing opponent, you can claim a win off of that topic. So anyone who thinks they're an intellectual god or a smoke demon who stays and lurks in comment sections can come prove themselves to the people they're arguing with. Or if you have friends that you would dominate in a debate, you can bring them in and show them that they are actually beneath you. You'll earn extra XP for ending players' win streaks or going on win streaks yourself, and beyond that, there will be double XP weekends where you can earn more than usual and climb the ranks with less effort. Your debates can be time limited if you so choose, and a bit of the progress from the current season will always carry over into the next one in some way, shape, or form. There will also be more giveaways beyond this specific event. Me and Troy each plan to give away 3 separate copies of both Budokai Tenkaichi 4 and Naruto Boruto Storm Connections in another event when those games eventually get their pre-orders. This is all in an attempt to give debating a better look, since because of recent events, the hobby has been looked upon really badly. Also, if you want to chill out in the server, that's fine as well. Not everyone in here debates. Some people just sit and play games or just talk. We also watch movies from time to time, or if you want to come ask me a question or something. But that's all. Join. The link will obviously be in my description. Come in, earn some money. If we get into right away, just right getting into it, Fuse Momoshiki. Boruto does not scale to Fuse Momoshiki.
Yeah.
He does not fight a full power Fuse Momoshiki. And even when he does fight him, he does not even take him down with his own power. We'll go over both the anime and manga for this, since I have seen the anime for that part of the Boruto, at least, and Troy has as well. And we both obviously read the manga. But in the manga, Boruto, just like in the anime, he gets Naruto's Rasengan, clashes it with Momo's, gets a little mental amp from finding out, his shinobi way, what he wants to do. And he's able to send Momo away using Naruto's power.
Yes. Like it starts off as like a small, maybe a little less than a normal size Rasengan. Then base Naruto gives it chakra and it turns into this gigantic mass of energy. He even gets like flashbacks to Naruto's memory, so it's like implied a mental imp as well.
Yeah. And then he got set up for this attack. Sasuke helped set this attack up by taking out one of Momoshiki's Rinnegan using Aminote Jakara and his Chidori Kunai and whatnot. So
Yeah.
Boruto does not scale to Momoshiki at all. So then you go to the anime, it's like a little bit less clear, but Boruto uses the Jogan whenever he scales Momoshiki. So aside from Momoshiki not being at full power, Boruto is at more than full power. Right?
Yeah, he's not only mental amped, he has this new eye that Toneri calls like the pure eye, and this eye is prophesized even by the Otsutsuki. So he has this overpowered Otsutsuki eye with the mental amp and Naruto's chakra and Sasuke's aid, stabbing out dojutsu which amp you massively. We see that throughout even Naruto.
Yeah. So That's just the basic like premise of the video to like start it off. Boruto does not scale to Momoshiki. So
Yeah.
with that being said, we gotta need to establish, well, where does he scale? Where can Boruto likely cap out at?
Yeah.
So a little bit after this, Boruto fights Ao. You might remember Ao from the 5 Kage Summon arc. He was the Mizukage Mei's guard. He had the Byakugan. Danzo tried to recover it, blah blah blah. He was a Jonin back then, Kage guard. Ao got dismantled by a Jubi.
Yeah. Destroyed by a Jubi bomb. Like, he was just presumed dead.
Yeah.
Nobody thought he was gonna survive that at all. It even looked like to us that he didn't survive it.
So he was in the same area that Shikamaru's dad was. He just happened to survive. So Ao is basically being kept alive by ninja tools at this point. And these ninja tools were literally just to make it so he can move and fight again. Not even really fight, just so they can move again like he used to.
Yeah,
right?
so he won't be like a paralyzed cripple guy.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
They're just for basic human functions.
Basically what we're getting at is Ao shouldn't be any stronger than he was in the fourth war. He should be like just as strong, or if not weaker, because now he lacks that Byakugan that he had whenever he was like fighting Shisui and whatnot back in the day.
He also should lack a bit of the chakra network as well, which we want to take that into account to weaken him even more than just losing a Byakugan.
Yeah. So the reason Ao's like scaling where he comes from is important is because Kage guard should obviously be Jonin level. You can apply, they're like, oh, top of the Jonin, whatever, right? I would disagree with that argument that the Kage guards are immediately like the top of the Jonin, because it's stated repeatedly, Kakashi and Guy are the top of the Jonins in the Leaf. Repeatedly. It's almost in every data book, unironically, stating that Kakashi and Guy are the peak of the Leaf Village. But Danzo's Kage guards are Fu and Torine, two Anbu Black Ops members. I think these two got chosen more so because Chojuro is like, you know, he's a prodigy. He's one of the 7 ninja swordsmen, or he at least wields one of their swords. And Ao has tons of war experience. Like, we know he fought Shisui back in the day and whatnot. So I think they were chosen more for those reasons. Obviously, they're strong on top of that, right? I'm not trying to say they're weak at all. They're obviously strong on top of that.
We even see a bit of that. They're not the strongest in the village or stronger than normal Jonin with Killer B too. Because the Kage guards for the Raikage are Hudarui and C,
yep,
I believe. Yeah, and Killer B, just his 8 tails power like shocks the whole Cloud Ninja village, and he's like their ace in the hole. So C and Darui aren't on the level of Killer B, but they're guards.
Exactly. It's just establishing, you know, Kage guards aren't the top of the village, but they should at least be strong. Like, they're bare minimum Jonin level, Jonin tier ninja.
Minimum. That's like the floor of them.
So being generous, Boruto gets to this level. And I mean generous, because
that's ignoring the fight that actually we see go over. So like we mentioned, these ninja tools only let him do basic human functions, and Boruto can barely do battle with that. He has to like drain Ao just to get the upper hand and make him lose his newfound evil plan and discover his ninja way again. He literally has to actively nerf the guy to get to this Jonin level.
So a bit of context for that. We see Ao encounter like Konohamaru and the rest of Team 7, right? Mitsuki, Sara, to Boruto. He's winning, but he basically gets to jump on them in the first fight. Like, just being generous to them, being charitable. He gets to jump on them in the first fight, so it wasn't really fair. The second fight, they go in with a plan. Ao is now armed with a ninja tool that can absorb ninjutsu, so they're like, okay, we'll blind him from the front. He'll keep absorbing our ninjutsu, and then Boruto, you can come in, get him with the chakra lightsaber. Obviously, the plan is to trick him there, not hit Ao with the lightsaber, but for Ao to pick the lightsaber up and start draining his chakra. That way, Boruto can actually do combat with him. So what happens is, Ao picks this lightsaber up. He literally falls to his knees because of how much chakra it's taking from him. And then Boruto comes in, tries to hit him with a Rasengan, and Ao is still able to react, block it, and then keep fighting. So
this is all partnered with the fact that they have to jump Ao, so he's already using his physical and chakra abilities to not get jumped and keep the upper hand on him. Even post this, with the nerf that like Six said, he can barely stand on his feet. He can still react to Boruto.
So if you want to talk about karma, because Boruto does have karma at this point in time, so we kind of do have to mention it. He can't really use it yet. He doesn't really start being able to use karma until after Kawaki joins the village, and then they train with it a little bit. But yeah, Boruto can't use his karma yet at this point. He makes a mistake and pulls it out whenever Kawaki does his gigantic rage beam or whatever. But after that, nothing. He can't actually just pull it out on his own.
He literally just can't use it. Kawaki, when Boruto's doing training with the 7th Hokage Naruto, Kawaki literally says, "Let me help you out," and forcibly activates his karma because he just can't do it on his own.
Yeah. So then I guess we could just get into the Akatsuki, since Boruto, his ceiling is basically at that level. From this point until very later on, we'll actually mention this. From this point until like halfway through the manga, Boruto's basically not getting any stronger outside of karma.
Yeah, right? At least to no substantial degree in his face.
Yeah.
No noticeable degree, he's not getting any stronger.
Because there's not that much time passes. Like it's a lot of chapters. Like the Owl fight is chapter 22. And then the next time we see Boruto like start to get stronger is like after chapter 50, like after the Ichiki fight and whatnot. So it's a lot of chapters, but not a lot of time, basically.
Yeah, so it's more of that, how anime just does. The chapters aren't really in correlation to real time in the manga. So it's just like, small amount of time, a lot of chapters.
Yeah. So the Akatsuki are all above Jonin level. Like
every single one.
Every single one of them is above Jonin level. Like there's consistency for Akatsuki just unaliving Kage. Deidara, unalive Gaara. Sasori unalive the third Kazekage. Orochimaru, he obviously got Gaara's dad out of there. It's mainly all just Kazekage.
Yeah. Pain, the leader, pulled up to the leaf and just destroyed the whole thing. Had the Hokage of the leaf on her knees, thinking she couldn't even do anything.
Pain could have ended Tsunade easily.
If he really wanted to. He could have just ran up, soul ripped, or just plummeted her into the earth.
Or whenever she like ran out of chakra and she like shriveled up or whatever, he could have just had one of the pains hit her while he was fighting Naruto or something like that. Basically, the Akatsuki scale over Kage level pretty consistently. The other ones you could just say they're on a high Jonin level. Like Hidan and Kakuzu are probably the weakest duo in the Akatsuki. They're each pretty relative to Kakashi, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, and then even then you can argue Kakashi is just Kage level. So
with the various data book statements, like there's just too many to count.
Yeah. So if anything, that makes the entire Akatsuki Kage level. And then from there, I mean, it's just like, okay, do we go over every 2-man cell versus Boruto? Because there is like, I mean, Boruto could do some diversions, I guess, to try to get around them. But like, let's say we start with the more like weaker versions, like Kakuzu and Hidan, right? Versus Boruto. They do this thing they call the usual, right? Where Kakuzu lets out his hearts, and while Hidan is fighting the other guy, Kakuzu just blasts them both since Hidan is immortal.
Yeah.
How does Boruto survive that?
Yeah, like Boruto's a smart ninja for his age or whatever, but if we think about it, he hasn't had that many in combat situations. So if he sees this one guy just rushing at him, doesn't know his abilities, he's going to be like, okay, let me get this target out first. He's not going to be expecting this whole 2-man squad combo attack where these shadow figures run up in the sky and just blast him with ninjutsu techniques. He's not expecting that. At the end of the day, he is a kid. No matter how much of a genius he is only a genius because at his age, no other shinobi can do what he does. But we see when he does battle with the Jonin, he can barely outsmart him, barely do anything. So these Kage level threats are just going to beat him up real bad.
So no, let's be generous. Let's say Boruto does survive this attack, right? Even though we know he's below Jonin level, he does survive this attack. Yeah. He's bare minimum getting some cuts on him. You'd agree?
Yes, sir.
And then Hidan does the Jashin ritual and kills him anyway.
He won't even know what to do. It literally took one of the smartest people in the series to defeat Hidan. Even though Hidan is very weak, or the weakest member of the Akatsuki, one of the smartest people had to figure out his technique after an entire battle just to kill him with prep.
So, I mean, Boruto's really not getting past any of the Akatsuki duos, and like I said, that's the weakest one. The next one after that is like Datarer and Sorcery. So there's like, what, you got C4, Poison.
He has no
puppets.
resistance to poison. He isn't making an antidote like Chio or anything. He's just getting negged. And when we get to the heavy hitters,
like Kisame and Itachi, water bubble, chakra absorption. Like, yeah, there's really nothing at that point.
He might unironically lose to Itachi at a single glance. The battle might start and he's already lost. Yeah. And Pain just overpowers anything he does, absorbs anything, blocks anything, destroys anything. He runs through him with every single pattern.
Like Boruto's whole plan to, I'll stop Ao's ninjutsu absorption by canceling it out with the ninja tool and then blowing up his ninja tool, but Pain like is the ninja tool. So like, what does he do? He really can't do anything at that point. Like, just no way. But I mean, I guess there's just enough of that. We could go over like the Boro scaling, just briefly, but Boro is not that strong. I'll quickly just show two panels right next to each other, because the main people's argument is Boro is stronger than Delta, stronger and faster than Delta. The two panels on screen are basically just gonna prove that wrong, where Boro is rushing at Boruto. This Boruto is out of chakra in base form. Boruto can still react to him. Delta rushes at Boruto. Boruto's in karma, he hasn't been fighting, and Delta completely is able to blitz Boruto. The statements about Boro and Delta, you know, him having better ability or whatever, probably just referring to just that ability. He has poison, he has hacks. Now, if you take into account, even though Boruto can react to Boro, right? If he was to fight Boro without Mitsuki around, he would have been killed.
He would have undoubtedly just died within that fight.
Him and Kawaki literally got trapped by Boro's poison almost instantly, right? So it's like Boro's more of, I'll poison you, weaken you, dwindle you down, and then beat you. Yeah. Delta's more of like brute force. You know what I'm saying? So Boro could be better at, like, you know, getting rid of people, but Delta's right there and she's able to do it too, just through a different method.
What also kind of leads credence to this idea that Boro's not that much of a physical fighter is Sarada, like, post being a little weakened after battle with Boro, she even comments on how slow he is and like outsmarts him and reacts to him pretty easily. So Boro is really just meant, like Six said, poison you, weaken you, he can regenerate so he can just outlast you. That's it.
Obviously this is like the point where we start talking about Borushiki, and that guy would stomp the whole Akatsuki.
Yeah, it's like, it's just night and day. Like he is faster, stronger, smarter, more versatile. He's everything. Yeah,
I mean, Otsutsuki programmed Boruto is just not. He's not losing to a single Akatsuki member. I mean, you got like he's stronger than Sage Naruto. And let's say Sage Naruto has never gotten stronger. That's cap, by the way. Say Sage Naruto has never gotten stronger. Sage Naruto is at least brawling with the other Akatsuki members, and Borushiki would just like beat him down into the ground.
It's no contest.
The only real like issue I would even see him having is with Kamui, but even then, like 1,000 years of battle experience, he'd probably just figure a way around it. Everyone who's fought Obito has figured a way around it, right?
And he also can't get trapped in the dimension, so
yeah,
if Obito tries to suck him in the other dimension like he does people, he'll just teleport out.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Obviously, you know, subscribe to Troy, subscribe to me as well, and other than that, have a nice day.